What up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Two Guys and the Couch. And today,
I'm the second guy.
Today is the second guy, yes. Today I have a very special guest star, and his name is Nick. Come on down, sir.
Yo, bro.
I'm the third guy, right?
Yeah.
He's the third guy. How's it going,
Homie,
man?
welcome.
Welcome. It's good to have you. Have a seat, buddy. So this is Sunglass exclusive Brucey Bruce. This is Danny Poole, aka Danny the lawyer. Reach out to him for any divorce attorney. That's him. This is Nick, aka Ilya. We'll get to that in a second. But as you guys know, this is my signature of gifting, and I have this interesting version of sunglasses for you.
You want to
sir.
do the honors?
Oh, you want? Okay.
Oh wow, I feel like a G.
You do? Let us know in the comments below
If
what
you guys also feel
think.
like a G.
If you feel like a G, like a G6 or a G7. And
Like
let us know
a
how he looks over there. So how do I know Nick? I know him from an event. Yes, that's how I meet people. I go out socially and I meet people and I introduce myself and you
And he
basically
brings them back to his man cave and makes them
exactly.
record a
I'm like,
podcast.
hey, you want to get started on a podcast? Yeah, I do. Okay, Nick is a very interesting individual. And Nick, why don't you tell the viewers just a little snippet about yourself and what you're all about and what makes you so unique?
I don't know, I'm a Capricorn. So I'm like detail oriented. Like anything I do. When I was a kid, I really liked to be creative, draw, sing. I was DJing for a little bit. I got into music. And then by accident, I just got into business. I saw a business opportunity. And now I'm doing investing and consulting for startups. That's a little bit about me.
Wow.
Wow.
So how did you and him have anything in common? He hasn't done any investing or any business or DJing.
I don't know, we're people, right? I believe in like past lives and stuff, so maybe like our souls connected somewhere along the path or something.
Your souls connected. Whoa,
Yeah.
that's deep, bro.
Deep, right?
The souls connected. That's crazy. Boris, he might have been your brother in another lifetime.
He is my brother from another mother, so are you. So that's how it is, bro. Why do you think we have the word bro? Okay, bro? Anyways, you're investing, and is that what you're continuously doing now? Are you doing any specific investment? By the way, this video is just for entertainment purposes. Do not take any of this and go do your investing of what he's gonna say. I don't want to be sued here, guys. I have an attorney just in case. So what kind of investments are we talking about here? Is it stock market? Is it real estate? Is it cryptocurrency? Is it Bitcoin?
I mean, when I actually invest, most of what I do is not investing right now. It's actually consulting and analytics for startups, like making their business plan, that type of thing, visualizing data. But when I do invest, it's like equity. I like to buy pieces of companies. I don't like to just buy the contracts and the stocks, the tokens. Like if I consult a company or I'm invested in a crypto startup, I just get the tokens for free. If I'm speculating on them, that's a different thing. I don't consider that investing. For me, investing is when your capital creates more production output. Like if someone has a small business, I give them money and they're able to do what they do now, but 2 times more, or hire more people, create more value. That's investments. When somebody has a company and they create contracts like stocks or tokens, and then they sell them and I'm just buying it from somebody else, that's just a wealth transfer mechanism. I don't consider that actual like investing into something.
That's impressive. So how did you even get into this? Like how do you actually know which company is worth investing and which company is just full of fluff?
It's a good question. So I had my own physical tech startup. I was doing smartwatches. I partner up with a customer acquisition firm from California.
So it was before Apple Watches or after Apple Watches?
I was like right around the time. It was like a novelty. That's part of like my selling point. And yeah, I had my own like actual company before starting to talk about it to people. People got interested, and I did a little bit consulting, and the really good ones I started to invest in. And then after like 3 years, I pivoted. We went into blockchain and fintech. So I
Blockchain
guess
fintech.
to answer your question, I know just through experience, just through running into challenges in my own company and consulting other people's startups.
So have you ever been burned?
Of course, a lot of times.
What kind of question is that, Danny?
Dude, you never know. Maybe
What do you
he's
think?
that
He's
good.
always positive?
Maybe he has
Like, is this
100%.
Warren Buffett, you think?
Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe it's 100%.
Yeah, I had a lot of like legal issues. I had my shipments just being discarded. I had to pay for that. Like when they get rid of stuff, it gets hauled up in customs and there's some legal issue, you have to pay for everything. So I had like $30,000-$40,000, orders get destroyed. Obviously, in startups, when we're talking about venture, only about 5-10% of them actually succeed. So most of my like speculations and ventures go to zero because either it does something or it goes to zero.
So what you're saying is the ones that you actually pick, the ones that make the most, are the ones that cover the losses.
Yeah, exactly. And part of that is luck too,
Yeah.
because there's clusters. You could have, there's the math, but then you could have losing clusters. You can have a cluster of like 5, 10, and if you don't manage your money properly, you're gonna go bankrupt.
But who said bankruptcy is bad? Donald Trump is supposedly bankrupt. The rich dad, poor dad guy saying that it's good to be in debt, it's good to be bankrupt. They don't pay taxes.
The legal term, that's different.
I think bankruptcy overall for a corporation is not that bad, but for a person itself, it's kind of bad. It puts your credit score down to zero. You start from nothing once again. That's why it's not the best thing. But in your case, do you think blockchain actually is something that's real or is bullshit? I mean, all it is just a ledger. That's all it is. The ledger that is open to the public. That's all it
I
is.
think it's still very early stage. It's like the internet in the 80s and then in the 90s, and when you had the whole boom in 2000s was the bust, like the really, really big bust. I think we still haven't seen that really, really big bust where 99% of the people lose everything, give up hope. Like I still go to a barbershop, Uber drivers, like events. People are excited about it. People that don't really know a lot about the industry, they're just excited about the concept. They're talking about tokens like they're pieces of companies.
What about NFTs?
I mean, yeah, NFT is just non-fungible token.
You think that's gonna pop?
I think it's already popped
I mean,
a
the
long time.
technology is interesting, yeah.
No, I mean like pop as in if we get a NFT now, that's like $10,000 or $10. Is it gonna pop to like $1 million?
That's kind of like asking, I don't know, if you buy rights to a song now or you buy a stock now. NFT is just like a technology. It's just a token that's attached to something, either a piece of art or a contract or like something. So,
Do you own any NFTs?
I mean, I think so. Not like
It's very nice to be in a position. Maybe I own an NFT.
Yeah,
Maybe I don't know.
It's totally fine. Like maybe there's something there or not. There's
No,
people.
I don't speculate in NFTs like that.
So what do you speculate in? Like what things actually where you just throw money in? Like what? Like going to a casino. Like what is something that you invest in that is like that you don't really care if it goes up and down? It's just for the sake of investing and having a good time.
Yeah, well, the way I do that is by looking at the charts, because that's where I get most of the information. Like when I see a lot of volatility in a stock, there's a lot of volume, there's hype, and then hype dies down and there's some kind of accumulation period. I like to buy bottoms. If the top was at $300, I like to buy it at $3 when no one's
So
talking
are you
about
buying
it.
now or you're waiting?
I'm not really buying anything right now. I think right now we're in a midterm kind of like complacency correction. The top is in for like in a macro scale, that's what I think, and we're gonna see some kind of complacency, and usually what that means is the things that are less volatile, they usually take a longer time to correct, and then the things that are very, very volatile, you only need to inject a small amount of volume for them like to move. So we might see something like that happening in the next couple of months.
So you feel there might be some injection that's gonna cause it to pop.
They are like the very volatile assets.
As I like to say, what goes down must come up, right?
Like crypto sensitive assets, like, you know, marijuana stocks, very
that-
speculative things.
Actually, what do you think of the marijuana, all the smoke shops that are opening up?
Yeah, it's
All over
interesting.
New York.
Because,
It's interesting.
because the new law is going to be coming out in a few days,
Yeah.
which is going to allow them to actually sell weed. And they're actually arguing for it not to happen yet because they haven't implemented laws to figure out if a person is driving while high.
I thought it was already legal, to be honest, because most of the shops I go into, they're already selling the weed oil and the THC drinks and all of that. So it's
Yep.
not even legal yet?
It hasn't been.
Thought it was. You
full-
told me they passed
No,
it.
it's. If
governor
you're
passed it.
carrying it, they're not gonna pull you over and arrest you. But if you're selling it, they don't have a license to sell yet. It's the same thing as opening up a restaurant and not having a liquor license and selling liquor. It's pretty much the same thing.
So you're gonna get fined or closed down.
You're gonna get fined. That's why there's so many of them opened up.
I see that on every block. You see like two or
but
three.
but they're not yet. Like if you go in there, like, oh, do you sell? It's like, I kind of sell it. It's okay. Yeah, I got you.
I support weed.
Very nice. Yeah.
He came here prepared with his stuff.
In this video, we do not support weed, but
Yeah.
I do.
these two people don't.
Yeah.
But that individual does. And that's totally
If I
fine.
had to choose between alcohol and weed, I think weed is much better if you know how to use it properly. It could calm you down. It could help you heal. It could help you focus. So for me, what it does is it's interesting. I can become more hyper, but at the same time, like the amount of time that I feel like I'm moving through expands. So it's almost like everything's moving slower. So while other people might see me, you know, talking too fast, for me, I'm just filling in like more space. I'm just able to concentrate better.
Doesn't that cause you to be in a subdued space though?
In a way, yeah. When I first
So
started,
you're not your real self. You're a subdued version of yourself because it calms you down. It relaxes you. So whatever version you truly are, the way you are, you kind of
I think there are
controlling it at
infinite
disadvantage.
versions of ourselves.
I agree. There are.
And that's like I think one of the reasons people like to do drugs. There's, you know, certain amount of people that are addicted to it. They need to have that feeling. But I think a lot of people, when they do drugs, they learn from the experience because they start to feel the world in a different way. And for me, I take things away from that. Like I act differently around people, but I don't just forget that. It's just a different side of me. It's not like a different version of me. It's not that I'm not myself. I'm just able to feel a little bit differently.
When did you start?
Like, I mean, I tried it a couple of times when I was in high school. I didn't really like it.
Because of friends or because
Yeah,
you
yeah.
peer pressure?
Kinda, yeah. And then one time I did it, I kind of
Was there a girl involved?
Yeah, recently.
Those damn girls, man. Like Lady
Bad
Macbeth. Anyways, they
influence,
continue.
right? Adam and Eve.
Yeah, Adam and Eve. Continue.
But yeah, and then I did it one time in California when I was living out in California. It was like super high THC. I just felt like paranoid.
So it was
What's
a different version.
THC? People don't know.
THC?
Explain to them. This is what THC is according to the THC.
THC.
I'm not a scientist.
What does THC stand for?
I don't know what it stands for.
It's another term for illegal. Another term for weed. That's all it is.
Oh, okay, so that's what they call weed, THC.
No.
It's an extract from it.
Yeah, there's cannabinoids, that's CBD, and then THC is like what actually gets you high, and CBD is what like calms you down. I guess that's a simple way to explain it.
So one second. How long were you living in Cali for?
Oh, that was back in like about 4 years on and off. Sorry, I keep putting on these glasses.
I know,
'cause the
man.
light
It's
is so
bright. I know it's for purpose, bro. To make you look even better. This is the light that we use in the gym. You know when you
That's the
go.
signature move. Put them on and off. They're like sunglass exclusive Brucey Bruce. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, like, share, subscribe this video with your parents, grandparents. You know the gist. Tell them to like.
Any people who smoke weed, apparently, that's what we do
Weed,
here now.
weed lovers. We have a weed supporter here, so like this, subscribe, and share with your other weed friends. We don't judge, no judge
Judge-free zone.
Judge-free zone. Thank you, Danny Demani, for always correcting me.
So going back to you.
I had this cartilage for like 2 months already, and it's still like at 30%. So like I don't smoke that much. Like I take a couple hits a day if I'm smoking. And I don't smoke every day.
Not that much, just a couple hits a day. I mean, if I was taking 10 hits a day, that would be
that's
different,
like-
but it's a couple hits a day. Only a couple hits a day.
No, yeah, I know some people that have to have it every like 5 minutes. So I was out in California. I was
That was
Getting
during
my
while
di-
you were doing the whole watch thing, right?
the what? No.
Oh, that was before that?
was when I came back to New York. Yeah, I was getting my commercial music degree.
Commercial music degree.
Yeah, it's like studio work, production, like signal flow, artist management.
Mm-hmm.
So it's basically everything about music except the actual playing music
Playing-
for it.
gotcha.
So every time I tell people that, they're like, "Oh, you're a musician. What instrument do you play?" And I'm like, "Well, actually, it's like everything besides that. It's the sound engineering, it's that type of thing."
Yeah, you said you were a DJ, right? So I guess that makes sense.
So you're like the AV guy,
A what?
the audio video guy,
The what?
the audio video guy.
AV.
Like they would call you, be like, "Yo,
Like in a
listen,
Broadway when you
there's
go
a,
to a theater."
there's an audio mixer."
No, actually, I
Okay.
never did that.
You never
I
done that?
volunteered, but I know a couple of people that made money on that. I wasn't interested in that. What I was more interested in taking that knowledge and applying it in a creative way. So I started a small record label. I was helping other artists to get out there, like booking shows for them, building websites, doing their like sound engineering, making instrumentals, creating like merch actually for artists that are just getting started. They already have a few thousand people following them. They don't make any money on their actual music. They go out and they sell merch. Like they sell shirts, they sell jewelry.
So to make sure that people recognize their brand.
Yeah,
Right.
branding, brand identity, like all of that, the business side of
So
it.
did you sell it afterwards and then move on somewhere else?
Sell what?
That company, or you still have it?
Oh no, it was just a small label.
Oh, okay. That's actually impressive, bro. You've gone through a lot of different genres.
Genres.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's testing the waters out. He's trying
And,
to
and
find.
you end up with fintech. You're like, yo, this is the best place to be at.
Actually, yeah, before like this whole war started, I put some money into starting a nutrition brand. I was starting basically like a hemp-based.
You were like,
Hemp-based
you seem to be
protein.
all in on this CBD weed type of scenario.
Yeah, now's the time.
That was a different reason for the hemp, but I just wanted to get into something physical because I saw how good CPG moved during COVID. Like on one hand, and I've been to at least 2 trade shows, like with pretty big plant-based brands, and like there's 2 sides of it. On one side, it was really hard to source ingredients, so it was expensive. So they were struggling with like the perfect price point. But on the other hand, people were buying everything, like anything that was on the shelves got bought. And,
Well, it makes
and
sense.
most of the times we only think about that from our point of view, from the consumer's point of view. But some of your favorite brands, they're not that big. So there are a lot of brands that are very regional. Some of them are only in Queens. Some of them are only in New York or East Coast. So a lot of these companies, they were doing very good, and they're still doing very good.
Again, it makes sense because during COVID, there was a lot of anxiety, paranoia. So CBD would have gone up because it calms people down.
But I'm not even talking about CBD. I'm talking about like people became more health conscious. They started taking more protein powders.
Toilet paper was sold out.
I don't think that's where he was going, but I hear your point.
Yeah.
No, toilet paper is also CPG. It's a fast moving consumer packaged goods.
Yeah.
Okay.
You need it. You know, I was actually thinking, I use so much paper towels at home. I'm thinking maybe I should come up with my own brand paper towel, and people will buy it because people need paper towels. There are people who have OCD. You could take advantage and make money off it, right? So
Yeah, I think that sector is pretty much commoditized at this point. I don't know how you would be able to like add value to it. You would have to basically have a luxury spin on it because there's no way you're going to be beating or even coming close to, you know, being able to compete with the price of like the big players out there, like Bounty and Scott.
Yeah, there's plenty that's out, and that's actually very good paper towels, and it's cheaper than Bounty. So if you can just create the same recipe as Plenty and do it for 10-15 cents cheaper, I think people are gonna buy yours. But you're right, I might get kicked off.
So I'm curious, what drives you to do all these different things?
Sorry?
What drives you to do all these different things?
Drives?
Yeah, is it the money, or is it just because you get creative and you just
Yeah,
that's it?
I think it's just I always have to like something. Like if I'm pursuing something, if I'm doing research, I'm gonna be doing research on it like all day. And I have to like the idea, I have to see the value in the sector, I have to see what value it's going to bring to people, and obviously the money side has to be there. Because if it's something super interesting but there's no margins, or you need a lot of starting capital or something like that, then I kind of just don't really pursue it. So it has to be both at the same time. Yeah.
I'm curious, did you ever go to college? Or you skipped college?
Yeah, but not like, I just took something different than what most people take.
What do you mean you took something different?
Commercial music.
Oh, so that was your college degree?
Yeah. So part of that was business management, like artist management, contract law, copyright law.
So it was a combination. You just created your own.
No, that was the curriculum.
Oh wow, okay.
That's what I mean. It's basically everything but the actual playing music part. It's the industry.
So
it's the commercial side of music.
So the reason you went into it is because you wanted to try it out. You wanted to see what it was like, and you were into it.
You wanted to be a musician?
No, neither. Because I had actually a scholarship at Institute of Audio Research, which I didn't take here in New York, and then I got an electronic music production certificate from School of Audio Engineering. That's when I was already trying it out. But the reason why I took the course, I really liked the facility, I liked the faculty, the professor. He built a multi-million-dollar facility. It's probably the best like music program or a commercial music program in the country, and it's a community college. So everybody I was teaching there had a doctorate in what they do. So he had a doctorate in like audio engineering and production, and the person that was teaching us like piano had a doctorate in piano.
So
and so on.
Everyone just was at the highest level.
Yeah, it was just amazing. It was professional, the type of people that attracted.
So are you like an audiophile then?
Huh?
Are you an audiophile?
Not necessarily.
Like you like the high fidelity of music, or you don't care?
It depends, right? Like sometimes I just like a good composition and a good arrangement, good melody. I could listen to something on my phone with shitty speakers, or I could be in like 5.1, surround system. It doesn't really matter.
Because
I'm just
curious because if you've done so many years of, commercial audio, you would have a certain ear to.
Yeah, for sure. At first, it was hard for me to turn it off because the way we were studying it was very technical. We had to break it down in like 10, 20, different categories. And sometimes I wouldn't really enjoy listening to music because it felt like work. My brain was trying to figure all of these things out. But now I'm kind of over that. Yeah, I just enjoy the art for what it is.
So did you hear that? He likes going to opera and stuff.
Yeah, so we are running short on time, but is there anything that you want to share to the viewers, to the 116 subscribers that I have today that might want them to pass on the message so I can get maybe 120 subscribers? And the goal is to
get to 117.
1,000. After that, ladies and gentlemen, I don't give a shit if you subscribe. I still love you though, love or hate relationship.
Yeah, for sure. Reach out to Boris.
Bruce, Sunglass Exclusive.
For sure, come to the
Ilya
podcast.
Is back in Boris's life.
Let's do like 5 guys on the couch or something.
5 guys on the couch. Unfortunately, I have 4 mics.
Or 3 girls and 3 guys. So it's 3 girls watching.
Okay, it's time for you to get
Reach
more
out
mics.
to
That's what it is.
Time to invest in some more
Let's get a whole
microphones.
group on the couch.
Let's get that 1,000 subscribers so I can start getting monetized by the 10 cents per advertisement.
He's not shy about saying what he wants.
Exactly.
He
ladies
goes for
and
what he
gentlemen.
wants.
Subscribe now because you know the YouTube channel analytics shows me who's subscribed and who's not subscribed and how many people watching my stuff. 69% of you guys are not subscribed and you're watching this content too.
I can't believe you
I can't
guys.
believe it. It's just
How
so hard
dare
to
you
click
watch
that.
for free?
So watch me get a negative review in this video.
Ilya, we want to thank you for coming to this podcast.
Thank you for your
Thank you for
participation.
telling us your life story to a certain degree, and showing us different perspectives that we were not aware of. We really appreciate it, and I hope our viewers will appreciate it as well.